Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling. Shall we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhollow today? We'll be vibing out as per usual. Just recorded some well, not just, like 20 minutes or so ago, recording some Cuphead. And by the way, I'm just going to be honest, it's today's episode, and so one's already gone up, and Saturday's episode, I'm going to be honest, I kind of popped off in Cuphead, and I absolutely wrecked it. It was fantastic. Anyway, that's neither here nor there, because we are just here to talk about normal stuff. I still have 6 musical songs stuck in my head, like all you wanna do, baby, and anything else. But anyway, hello everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 5:43 p.m. on Wednesday, December 28th, 2022. It's so stuck in my head, but excuse me, I'm dying. Hold on. It's extremely stuck in my head, but I still don't really want to talk about it because I haven't watched the musical. I've only listened to the songs, so there's not really much to say until I actually go watch it. But oh my god, it's really like in my head. And I would say, because from what I can tell, each of the songs that the Queens sing, they each have like a specific influence. And 2 of them I picked up on like immediately. One of them being like the Avril Lavigne influence from Anne Boleyn, and the other one being the Britney Spears influence. And also, I suppose Ariana Grande kind of, that's small visually, for the Catherine Howard. Did I pick on any others? I don't think so. Maybe sort of subconsciously I thought about like Adele and Sia with Jane Seymour, but that's not really hype, neither here nor there. But I will say, like, listening to like a sort of like punk pop song, it very much brought me back, because Sk8er Boi was one of like the first. It's not going to be the first song I knew, but I knew it obviously through my sister. Like I was very young when it. Actually, what age was that when it came out? Sk8er Boi, Avril Lavigne. That's Joy-Con Drift, just sending me over here. When did it come out? 2002. So I was 5 when it came out. So I of course, only knew about it sort of secondhand. I wasn't really going into the HMVs, listening to Sk8er Boi, being like, oh yeah, it's my jam. I wasn't really in that much of a rebellious phase. I was 5. But Sk8er Boi it's a very sort of millennial kind of, maybe late Zoomers, nostalgic song for a lot of people, isn't it? You know, you start being like, he was a boy, and then people would just be like, she was a girl, could it get any more obvious? People love that song for, like, it's one of those songs which is definitely like the sort of, you know, I don't know how best to describe it except for like a drunk karaoke song, you know. You have people within your sort of same peer group. That song comes on at karaoke, everyone's singing along. That song comes up, like Journey, Don't Stop Believing, Journey probably is one of them. Like there's a lot of them, Bohemian Rhapsody is probably one of them as well. But Sk8er Boi is very much, I think, one which is very much tied to that generational period it came out, rather than like, because Bohemian Rhapsody is a lot older, and so is Journey, I believe, and like Don't Stop Believing. Those sort of songs people will sing along to, but they're like generationally, you know, from outside of this generation. But this one, like, I don't imagine every generation, if they hear that, would just like singing along to it. I can't imagine Generation Z or Z, whatever, Alpha. I say that like, I don't mean that like with discontent, because I think I'm technically Generation Z, which is interesting. I'm like very, very late Generation Z or something, or Generation Alpha might listen to it and be like, well, you know, this is nostalgic or anything. I'll probably listen to it and be like, oh man, it's so old. Pop punk, that's not a thing anymore. Scene kids, what are you? But anyway, Avril Lavigne, I certainly have very fond memories of, for being a song I knew from a very young age. You know, lyrics to, and you know, rocked out to. Rocked out. I didn't really rock out, I'm gonna be honest. Like sang along and, you know, dance along to. If you don't know Avril Lavigne, she basically in a very early sort of career, like her, a load of others had like but basically the sort of marketing appeal was a sort of like pop punk rebellious teenager sort of songs. So that's like kind of what her whole shtick was. And Sk8er Boi is the same thing. She was like a skater girl kind of. I mean, the song I don't think is technically about her, but you know, she's just like, it's just like, I don't know. And I can't describe why, because it's not like it's an amazing song or anything. It is very catchy. It's an absolute earworm, and it's fantastic at sort of like bringing you back to those days, because it's very emblematic, I suppose, of a pop punkish phase. Even if you haven't had that phase, to be honest, then I was never a skater girl, I'm going to be perfectly honest, but still, it just feels nostalgic to a certain degree. And I don't know. I guess my sort of question goes out to, you know, people who are both from like older than me, like half a generation up or half a generation down, is like that. Does Sk8er Boi bring like any sort of evocative imagery of being like, oh, this is like a sort of like a punk rebellious phase, which, you know, maybe you have experienced or haven't, and, you know, brings you any sort of sense of nostalgia? Because I'd imagine it probably doesn't. That's my guess. I don't know. And if it does, then maybe you you are probably closer to that sort of time period when you might expect. Because 2002 is basically, if you're anything from, I'd imagine, I was a bit young for it, I guess, but anywhere from probably about the ages of like 8 to 18. You know, from about preteens to teens. 8's a bit young for preteens, isn't it? I guess preteens would be like 10. Whatever. You know, in that sort of age, you'd probably be jamming along to it. That's my guess, but I don't know. Maybe it has a bit more of a lasting legacy than I thought. Because I don't know if you've ever like sat down and like thought about the lyrics. You know, it's gonna be so funny because like, I'm just sort of like imagining. Some of my audience is probably significantly younger than me, I'd imagine. But like listening to me just like talk about this is probably the same way when I listen to Northern Nine and he talks about like Weezer or something, and I'm like, I don't really know who Weezer is. And when he like quotes all these songs, I'm like, I don't know what these songs are. You might be listening to the same thing and be like, Avril Lavigne, like, doesn't she sing? I don't even know what her most recent song is. I can only think of like Hello Kitty, but that's not even that recent. That's like 8 years old, I think. But it's just infectiously catchy. Like Boyfriend's also another one, but Boyfriend I don't think is, you know, it's like, yeah, it's like so whatever. That's a joke for you if you actually know the song. But for esoteric audience, I'm appealing for Avril Lavigne fans. But probably not that esoteric. I genuinely just don't know if she's still like making music nowadays. I hope she's living her best life, probably. But I don't know. Sk8er Boi's it's definitely got some. It must have some sort of lasting legacy from like meme potential, I suppose, right? Like, I don't know. What I was gonna say is like the lyrics of a song are just like they're like so random, not random, but they're just so like direct, which I guess is kind of subversive of. It's so direct, there's no like metaphors or anything really going on. It's just like, he was a boy, she was a girl. Could it get any more obvious? Like, you know, pretty not based of you, Avril Lavigne, you know, in modern day. No, I'm joking, but it's just like, it's not a great lyric. It's like, he was a boy, she was a girl. Could it get any more obvious? It was sort of just like, oh, you know, there's an apple, there's an orange. I have a fruit salad. You do not make a fruit salad out of apples and oranges, I'm going to be honest, but you know, it's not like, here's a fact, you know, here's a commentary about a fact, which I know, I always be like, you know, you shouldn't like reduce down to absurdity, like things, or anything really, because it sort of just like takes away the base foundation of what these things are talking about if you remove all context of them, and then like pointing it, you use it as a sort of point of mockery in the first place is, you know, not in good faith is what I'd say. But come on, he was a boy, she was a girl, could it get any more obvious? He was like, she did ballet, he liked to skate, what more can I say? I don't know Avril Lavigne, you know, it's not, I'm not here hating on Avril Lavigne, like, the songs are great, but the lyrics are just so strange. Like, what more can I say? Like, I don't know, flesh out these characters a bit more, I want to know more about them. But I guess that was kind of a point, is like, it's meant to be, you know, pop punk is sort of like rebelling against whatever society, so she kind of needs to set up, not like whatever society, not like anarchism, but like, it's rebelling against traditional expectations and roles or whatever, so she needs to set up the traditional roles to break them eventually later, right? What was it? She did ballet, he liked to skate, what more can I say? I can't remember. All of her friends turned up their nose at something in his baggy clothes. Is that it? And if anything is even more, I'm looking at the lyrics by the way, more indicative of the early 2000s of the time it came from, is the fact they spelled Sk8er Boi with an 8 in it. He was a punk, she double. What more can I say? He wanted her, she never tell. Secretly she wanted him as well. But all of her friends stuck up their nose. They had a problem with his baggy clothes. Something like that. And then it just gets into a chorus, which is the only part which people care about. Whoa, we didn't have a cherry blossom recipe? That's incredible. Where it goes, he was a skater boy, she said, that's a bit high. He was a skater boy, she said, see you later, boy. He wasn't good enough for her. She had a pretty face, but her head was up in space. She needed to come back down to earth. That's a song, like, that's one of the... you know what it is? It's a defining song to be like, if you were born in early 2000s, that's probably a bit young. If you were born in like late 1990s and you start singing this chorus, if you know the lyrics to the Avril Lavigne Sk8er Boi, then that's sort of like a litmus test. That's a Turing test for if you are in that in-between phase of like late Zoomers. And who calls them Gen Z? I've been calling them Gen Z this entire time. Zoomers, late Zoomers and earlier millennials. This is like the definitive song for that, I think. Maybe. I don't know, it's probably a bit more millennial. leaning than Zoomer leaning, isn't it? Because it had to be like 2005, I think, for it to be smack bang in the middle, which I don't really know what that would be. Like, Spice Girls Wannabe? Is that 2005? Spice Girls Wannabe. That's 1996, I'm way off. I thought Spice Girls had... Well, maybe it's 2 Becomes 1. That makes more sense. No, 2005 is way too late for Spice Girls. What am I talking about? I don't know. Seeing as that was all like my early childhood or whatever, or all of the sense of time scales is very much distorted, I would say. And plus my time scales aren't very good in the first place. You'd be like, what year did this movie come out? I don't know. I'll just randomly guess and pretend I knew what I was talking about when I get it right. Anyway, other lyrics. 5 years from now, she sits at home feeding her baby. She's all alone. She turns on TV. Guess who she sees? Sk8er Boi rocking up on MTV. I was like, what? Sk8er Boi, he got famous real quickly. 5 years? You kidding me? Like, assuming we're in high school and he becomes a rock star in 5 years. That's a heck of a propelling to fame. On MTV from high school. That's like Billie Eilish levels or something. No, it's probably a bit less than Billie Eilish levels now I think about it. But Billie Eilish is a monumental rocket ship to fame in 5 years. Now I think about it, but still. She calls up her friends. They already know. But this is a problem I always had with the song as well. Like, called up her friends being like, hey, you know that person I was in love with ends up being an absolute rock star. We could have been together. And then the friends are like, oh yeah, we already got tickets to see his show. Like, you're the ones who are turning up you're the ones being judgmental, friends. Why are you still friends with these people? You know, certainly, it's one thing if your friends want to be like, hey, that person you have a crush on, actually not a super nice person, take off those rose-tinted glasses. But this is just like, they're being like snobbish in the first place. Which I guess is kind of like the point of a song. It's meant to be like, this is what you could have had if you weren't, you know, so prim and proper and didn't rejection of normality, I suppose. Rejection of rejection, because punk is a rejection of like traditionalism, isn't it? Anyway, she calls up friends. They already know. They all got tickets to see a show. She tags along. How? What? She just snuck into the concert? Probably she got tickets as well, but you know, what could be more punk than not buying a concert ticket and turning up anyway? Maybe. I don't know. I'm not a punk. Let's see. And stand in the crowd, looking up, looks up at the man she turned down. He was a skater boy. She said, you know what I've got to say? These lyrics, they don't spell skater boy the same way we do in the title of 8. Missed opportunity, I think. She said, see you later, boy. He wasn't good enough for her. And like, so many people know those lines. Or maybe I'm just because I'm surrounded by friends who are all in the same sort of age group. but we all know this song. That's why. Now he's a superstar slamming on his guitar. Does your pretty face see what he's worth? Like, I gotta say, a lot of Avril Lavigne songs, from what I remember, they very much sort of feel like in like a revenge category of song, you know? Like, Boyfriend, nothing exemplifies it more than Avril. I don't know why I'm talking about Avril Lavigne so much. Then Boyfriend, be like, hey, you, I could be your boyfriend. No, girl. Hey, you, I don't like your girlfriend. Oh, it's called Girlfriend, isn't it? Not Boyfriend. No way, think you need a new one. And the whole thing is about getting revenge on this poor girl who's just, you know, dating this guy. Like, I mean, if you see that now, hopefully you'd be like, this is just weird. Like, why are you doing this? Like, if you saw this in real life, you know, happily, you know, in love couple of a boyfriend and girlfriend dating, perfectly normal. Then this like punk girl just comes up and is like, I'm gonna ruin your experiences. I'm gonna be like, you can do better than her. She's terrible. You'd be like, what are you doing? Why are you so psychotic? Maybe psychotic's not the right word, but you know, why are you being like? Why are you being like this? You know, they're happily in a relationship. Like, don't let your envy and jealousy get better of you. Just like, you know, chill. So what I'm saying is basically the concept has not aged particularly well. I don't even know if it aged very well back then. I feel like I remember watching the music video back then. It's been like, I don't really get it. But it's got a catchy song, so, you know, 8-year-old me didn't really think too much about it. Sorry, girl, but you missed out. Well, tough luck, that boy's mine now. Oh, I didn't even remember this verse. Okay, so she is big. It's another revenge sort of thing where it's like, oh, sorry, you know, I win in the end. It's like, you know, a revenge fantasy which people have where it's like, oh, you know, I won. I did it all. You know, I got the love of my life. I won it all. It's all because you weren't like me or something. This is what you could have been. It's not just like, it's weird thinking back on it and thinking about what's popular. But, you know, you can imagine it, you know. Oh, very pop punkish, you know, and like, because of course rejection of tradition. I keep saying rejection of tradition as if I know what I'm talking about when it comes to pop punk subculture, which I really don't, to be perfectly honest. But you know, rejection of tradition is sort of just being like, you know, I'm the one who wins. It's like being the bad girl image, I suppose, or bad boy, I suppose. It's about the whole kind of point, you know, subverting it and, you know, winning out against the person who is a prim and proper and who should be the traditional, like, hero in the end. That's kind of why. And maybe I'm just bitter about it because that's the ideal I fit more than, I suppose, the sort of, like, rocker, skater, rebel, you know? Why can't we just all get along? That's what I'm saying. Anyway, I think I'm reading a bit too much into Sk8er Boi. Just, you know, shut up me and just rock out. Oh, tough like our boys now. We're more than just good friends. This is how the story ends. Like, this is how the story ends. That's also another line where I'm like, this lyric, come on. Too bad you can see the man that the boy could be. There's more than meets the eye. I see the soul that's inside. I don't remember this part of this. He's just a boy. I'm just a girl. Can I make it any more obvious? We're in love. Haven't you heard that we rock each other's world? I'm with a Sk8er Boi. I don't remember these chorus variations, but maybe I just never paid attention to them. I said, see you later, boy. I'll be backstage after the show. I'll be at the studio singing the song we wrote about a girl you used to know. I'm with a Sk8er Boi. I said to you, and you know, repeats. What's Avril Lavigne doing now? It's going to be in my head now. Anyway, the whole, like, sort of catalyst about this is that, oh, blabbers! I didn't know you could get coffee. Having a scent of Bruce's fresh coffee drifting through the museum has made every day here a joy. Or maybe I have seen you get coffee before. I'm not really sure. What's Avril Lavigne doing now? Hot. 2007. Complicated. How could I forget that? Why'd you have to make things so complicated? I don't know which one Hot is. When You're Gone. My happy ending. So much for my happy ending. That one, right? Sk8er Boi. What the hell? I don't know that one. I'm With You. Wish You Were Here. 2011. Love It When You Hate Me. 2022. She's still got a sort of like rebel chick. The punk aesthetic going on. You know, respect to her. Hello Kitty. When did this come out? Okay, hold on. Avril Lavigne, Hello Kitty. I've ever tried skateboarding, by the way. Because I've tried it like only in a small amount. 2013. Oh god, that was about 9 years ago. I think I guessed 8. That's pretty close. Yeah, I would not make a good like skate girl. I'm gonna be honest. Can't like it's weird to say because I can snowboard. It's not that my sense of balance is anything, but, you know, I just don't fit that aesthetic. I'm not all about, like, rebellion, you know, that sort of thing, where it's like, oh, you know, I hate things. I hate my parents. You know, my parents are great. It's like, I hate school. You know, honestly, I had a pretty good time during school, if anything. So, you know, it'd be kind of hypocritical of me saying that, down with authority. Well, yeah, kind of, you know, not necessarily down with authority, more like, you know, the Reformation shouldn't happen should authority no longer suit the needs of other people, I guess. Where am I going with this? You know, no, that's what I'm saying. I was not a rebellious child. Probably not to the surprise of anyone. You know, I didn't rebel against teachers or anything. I just did my work. That's about it. And, you know, went home and played video games. Not very exciting, I suppose, but it was exciting to me. Anyway, basically, long and short of it, Sk8er Boi is a fantastic song. And that's 100% probably just due to nostalgia reasons alone. But it's definitely that sort of song where you'd be like, oh, Sk8er Boi's not really that great a song. People would be like, what are you talking about? Provided they're in the right age category. It's just his lyrics, you know, come on. I guess, you know, they're not fanciful enough, or they're not whimsical enough for me. You know, I like my metaphors, my like similes, I like my imagery, evocative, emotional impact of that sort of thing. Sk8er Boi is just so direct, too direct for me, but I still rock out to it. Ah, you are Rio? You're one of the new ones, aren't you? In New Horizons or something? Oh no, you're new in the 2.0 update or something, I think. Anyway, Avril Lavigne, hope you're doing well, I suppose. How old is she now? She must be like 30 something. She must have been like 15 or something when she first started singing. I'd imagine 16. 38. So let's see. 2002. Oh, she was 18. Okay. She's 38? My god. I'm just looking. Being like, wow, she's still rolling with a punk aesthetic. Gotta love it. I guess because, you know, she's probably still rolling with it because she is punk. Right? That's probably it, you know. It's not a phase, quite literally. You know, she can do whatever she wants. And anyway, Sk8er Boi, I don't know, I guess I'm going to title it Sk8er Boi. this video is nonsensical. What am I talking about anymore? I don't know. But anyway, I'm going to round up this episode here. So if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been here, darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. My Twitter and Discord down below. Hope you see each other again. But for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now. Sorry, media.